Jannah Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Paravaradikacharya, Ashtatara Sadi Shri Srimad Stranglers, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Samaveta Bhaktivedanta ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's fine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 12, texts 44 up to 47. So I'll read up to 47. We'll do 47 responsively. So text number 44. Anvikshiki trayi varta dandanitis tataivacha ivam vyahritayas chasan pranavo yasya dahrataha. The science of logical argument, the Vedic goals of life, and also law and order, moral codes, and the celebrated hymns Bhu, Bhuva, and Swa, all became manifested from the mouths of Brahma, and the Pranava Omkara was manifested from his heart. Text 45. Tashyosnik asil lomabhyo Gayatri cha tvacho vibho Trishtum mangshat snuta nushtuh jagatyasna prajapatahe. Thereafter, the art of literary expression, Ushnik, was generated from the hairs on the body of the almighty Prajapati. The principal Vedic hymn, Gayatri, was generated from the skin, Trishtup from the flesh, Anushtup from the veins, and Jagati from the bones of the Lord of the living entities. Text 46. Majaya Panktir Utpana Brihate Pranato Bhavat. The art of writing verse, Pankti, became manifested from the bone marrow, and that of Brihati, another type of verse, was generated from the life breath of the Lord of the living entities. So now repeat after me. Sparshastasya bhavats jiva svaro deha udaritaha Ushmanam indriyan yahur antasta balam atmanaha Svarah sapta viharina Bhavanti sma prajapatihi Sparshastasya bhavats jivah Svaro deha udarita Ushmanam indriyanyahur antasthabalamatmanaha Svarach sapta viharena Bhavanti sma prajapatihi Sparshastasya bhavats jivah Svaro deha udarta Ushmanam indriyanyahur Antasthabalamatmanaha Svarach sapta viharena Bhavanti sma prajapatihi. Palamatmanaha Svara sapta viharena Bhavanti sma prajapatihi Sparshastasya bhavats jivah Svaro deha udarata Ushmanam indriyanyahur Antasthabalamatmanaha Svara sapta viharena Bhavanti sma prajapatihi. Ladies. Sparshastasya bhavats jiva Svaro deha udarata Ushmanam indriyanyahur Antasthabalam atmanaha Svara sapta viharena Bhavanti sma prajapatihi Sparshastasya bhavats jivah Svaro deha udarata Ushmanam indriyanyahur Antasthabalam atmanaha Svarach sapta viharena Bhavanti sma prajapatihi. Word for word, sparshaha. The set of letters from ka to ma. Tasya, his. Abhavat, became. Jivaha, the soul. Svaraha, vowels. Dehaha, his body. Udarataha, are expressed. Ushmanam, the letters sha, sa, sa, ha. Indriyani, the senses. Ahuhu, are called. Antastaha, the set of letters so known. Yaralava, Balam, energy. Atmanaha, of his self. Svaraha, music. Sapta, 7. Viharena, by the sensual activities. Bhavanti sma, became manifested. Prajapatihi, of the Lord of the living entities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Brahma's soul was manifested as the touch alphabets, his body as the vowels, his senses as the sibilant alphabets, his strength as the intermediate alphabets, and his sensual activities as the 7 notes of music. Purport. In Sanskrit, there are 13 vowels and 35 consonants. The vowels are a, I, u, r, ri, la, e, I, o, au. And the consonants are ka, ga, ka, etc. Amongst the consonants, the first 25 letters are called the sparshas. There are also 4 antastas. Of the ushmas, there are 3 S's called talavya, murdanya, and dantya. The musical notes are sa, ra, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. All these sound vibrations are originally called Shabda Brahma, or spiritual sound. It is said, therefore, that Brahma was created in the Mahakalpa as the incarnation of spiritual sound. The Vedas are spiritual sound, and therefore there is no need of material interpretation for the sound vibration of the Vedic literature. The Vedas should be vibrated as they are, although they are symbolically represented with letters which are known to us materially. In the ultimate issue, there is nothing material because everything has its origin in the spiritual world. The material manifestation is therefore called illusion in the proper sense of the term. For those who are realized souls, there is nothing but spirit. Sparshastasya bhavajjivah svarodeha udarita ushmanam indriyan yahur antastaba lamatmanaha svara sapta viharina bhavanti sma prajapatehe. Brahma's soul was manifested as the touch alphabets, his body as the vowels, his senses as the sibilant alphabets, his strength as the intermediate alphabets, and his sensual activities as the 7 notes of music. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jata Sahagana Raganatan Vitangs Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vashakan Vitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Brindavaneshware Brishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanshakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I request the blessings of all the devotees and apologies in advance for my imperfections. I was asked to give this class just yesterday, so I'm not so well prepared. But I did have a chance to look at a few of the Sanskrit terms to try and decipher them. So this is very much related to Vedic meter. Meter meaning rhythm. The rhythm or the number of syllables in different verses. And let's go through some of the terms used. Ushnik. So I checked what ushnik means. Ushnik means 28. It's four lines of 7 syllables, 28. Anushtup is mentioned as well. Anushtup's today's verse. It's the most common verse in the Bhagavatam. Anushtup. It's 4 lines of 8 syllables. Another meter is mentioned as Tristup. Now, I'll give you an example. Aruhya krichrena param padam tata pachanchino nadrita yujmadangrayaha. That's tree stoop, which means 4 lines of 11. Briyati is mentioned. That's an unusual one. It says, according to the sources I have, 4 lines, 8, 8, 12, and 8. So there's a long line of 12 in the middle. And Jagati is 48, which is 4 lines of 12. And these are some of the Vedic meters. There's a verse in, I think it's the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam, that explains that the 7 horses of the sun god are named after those 7 meters. So I mentioned 5 of them, but there's other ones. There's many meters, actually. But if you really want to know, then you go to someone like Sri Radharaman Prabhu or Kartik Chandra Prabhu, who have been taught Sanskrit, and they'll be able to go into far more depth on the meters. But what I do know is, Bhagavatam, being such a wonderful scripture, has a very large variety of meters, and I think it's got all of them. So if you go through the whole Bhagavatam, you'll find so many different meters. And, we have the Brahma Samhita meter, that's very common as well. That wasn't one of them unmentioned here. So this is all coming from Lord Brahma. And there is a connection between each meter and different parts of his body, and I don't know the inner meaning. I mean, why is it that Ushnik represents the hairs on his body, whereas Gayatri represents skin or tree stoop, flesh, etc. So there's some connection there, and we just have to pray to Krishna that we can get some deeper enlightenment, because I don't know exactly why those particular meters correspond to different parts of the body. So that's meter. Let's now talk about the alphabet, because today's verse that we recited is very meaningful if you understand Sanskrit grammar. Now, I understood a little bit of it because I after about 3 years in the movement, I picked up a Sanskrit grammar book and I decided to try and learn it, much as Bhanu Maharaj did as well. He mentioned it in one of his recent classes. But the difference was, when he did it, he was intelligent enough to actually get to the point where he could actually translate literature, which I'm not on that level. So obviously there's something wrong with my brain in comparison to Banaswami's, that he's self-taught Sanskrit, but I am not. So let's look at some of the terms. Sparsha. Now I'm guessing, see, the difference in consonants and vowels, if you want to pronounce a vowel, you have to touch. There has to be some touch within the mouth. Touch means sparsha. So I'm guessing that's why consonants are referred to as sparshas, whereas vowels, you can just speak them without having to touch any part of the tongue with your mouth, etc. Now, this is interesting. A lot of what we say, we present this Vedic knowledge as a higher knowledge, and we present it to people of the United Kingdom, and they don't necessarily believe what we say. But some things we say, they do believe. For example, the origin of phonetics is actually coming from Sanskrit. Actually, even the mundane people of the UK, or even Wikipedia, will acknowledge that phonetics as a science comes from Panini, who is the Sanskrit grammarian. So let's try and unpack that. So phonetics, when we speak, we can analyze which part of the mouth the tongue is touching when we say different vowels and consonants, etc. So in today's purport, there's the term talavya, murdanya, and dantya. And these are referring to the 3 types of S. So the word in Sanskrit, talu, means the palate. So the S that touches the palate is known as talavya. Murdanya means the top of the mouth. So the S that touches the top, which is going to be sh. I mean, talavya and murdanya are similar, sh and sh. If you go further back, it's talavya. And then danta, so what does dantya mean? Danta means teeth. So when you put the tongue next to the teeth, you get s. So that when it's with a s, and then, but the thing is this, it's not only in English we can understand this because we have these words in English, but the same is true for T's. You can have the T which touches the tooth, t, and then the one that touches the top of the mouth, t. So I remember I was a brahmachari for a little short while at Soho Street. And then one Sanskrit pundit came in, and he came up to the ashram, and he started talking to me about pronunciation, etc. And he did the t and the t. And he said, "Can you tell the difference?" And I said, "No." And he was astonished. And I said, "Because in English, we don't have the T with the dot under it. We just don't have it." But that's when I kind of woke up and thought, okay, I'm going to try and, like ta-ta, the bank of a river, it's the T that touches the top of the mouth. So obviously, if you're in India, and I presume in Hindi they have the two types of T, is that right? Yes. So people who know Hindi, they can easily distinguish between the different types of T. And people who only know English, like myself, they say that the United Kingdom is cursed because people in the United Kingdom only know one language, whereas people from other countries, they learn multi-languages. So anyway, so on the point of phonetics, there are 25 sparshas mentioned in today's purport. So they are nice and scientifically broken down. Now, I've mentioned the three types of S, depending on where in your body, top of your mouth or the back of the mouth, etc., where it's pronounced. So if you look at the consonants, so the first one, there's 25, that's 5 sets of 5. Now, if they begin with ka, ka's at the back of the throat, it's the throat. When you pronounce the word ka, it's towards the throat, ka. So there's 5 of them, and they're called kantya, which means, kanta means throat. So the 5 are ka, and then you aspirate it, ka, and then g, ga, and ka, and then ng, something like that. It's like the anushvaram. So they're all pronounced at the back, they're called kantyas. Then if you come forward, you get the talavyas, which is mentioned before. Now these are like cha, cha, ja, cha, and then another, well, I just look at it as an N with a squiggly line above it, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, nga, or something. But anyway, and as you come further forward, see, murdanya, the word murdana in Sanskrit means the top. So because the tongue's touching the top of the mouth, now we get so they would be the ta that I'm trying to pronounce before, the ones that the Hindus speak. Ta, ta, da, ta, and then na. And then as you come forward to the dentals, well, that's easy if you speak English. So then you get t, normal English T, t, then you aspirate it, ta, and d, ta, and then na. And then if you come forward further, you get the labials. So the word for lip is aushta in Sanskrit. So you get this term austya, which means the labials, and they're pronounced with the lip. Now you notice ventriloquists, they find it very hard to pronounce the words with the lip, the sounds with the lip, because they have to use the lip. So when a ventriloquist has to mimic the sound that is made with the lip. So these are pa, pa, ba, pa, and ma. So you can always see the lips are used there. So that's very scientific. So we've broken them down into 5 sets of 5 based on whether they're pronounced on the throat, the palate, the top of the mouth, next to the teeth, or the lips. But another way to look at them, that's why there's 5 rows. But